The Great Depression's onset, the ruling Liberal Party's seeming inaction or indecisiveness, and the main opposition Conservative Party's new leaders, Richard Bennett's promises of dramatic action to supposedly end or solve the problem of unemployment were the main issues in the 1930 Canadian federal parliamentary elections. Mackenzie King, the Liberal Prime Minister of Canada, had famously declared that he would not give any Conservative provincial government a 5-cent piece. And he claimed that the British North America Act, which would remain Canada's official constitution until 1982, basically prevented him from doing anything dramatic to interfere with Canada's economic crisis. However, when unemployment was rising month after month, and more people were falling into poverty, not just unemployment, because of the very meager net of social programs in Canada, and then they had to rely on private charitable organizations and, of course, the help of their family members, relatives, and friends, and so forth. Enough Canadian voters were willing to give the portly Bennett, who had built a fortune as a lawyer in Western Canada, a chance to govern Canada. He claimed, Mackenzie King promises you programs, I promise you conferences, I promise you actions. Mackenzie King promises consideration of the problem of unemployment. I promise to end unemployment. Which plan do you like the best? These phrases I remember from my reading of A History of Canada, or A Pocket History of Canada, written by Kenneth MacNaught. The elections were held on July the 28th, 1930. The total number of seats in the House of Commons remained 245. Bennett, who ran in Calgary West, that is in Alberta, was able to give his party or lead his party to a clear majority victory with 47.8% of the vote, or some 1,863,135 seats. The Liberals, although coming close in the popular vote, were soundly defeated because of the first past the post electoral system. They received 45.5% of the vote, or about 1,717,000 votes, and 89 seats. The United Farmers of Alberta still got 9 seats. However, only 57,000 voters, or about 1.5%, voted for them. The Progressives dropped to about 71,000 votes, or 1.8 seats, only securing 3 seats. Obviously, given the socioeconomic and political turmoil, even spiritual and mental turmoil, there were many other parties and groups in the election. The Liberal Progressives got 3 seats with 1.2% of the vote. The Laborites won 2 seats with 0.7%. The Independents got 0.6% of the votes and secured 2 seats. The Progressive Conservatives got 0.4% of the votes and got 1 seat, as did the Independent Laborites. There were also Independent Liberals, Farmers, Independent Conservatives, politically unknown, Liberal Laborite, 1 Liberal Laborite, 6 Communists, Labour Farmer, Liberal Protectionist Farmer Labour, Independent Progressive Frank Lib, and Prohibitionist candidates. During the next parliamentary term, Bennett tried to fight the Great Depression first by tariffs, and then when the depression seemed to deepen, and did actually deepen, he changed course and in January 1935 proclaimed various liberal and progressive socio-economic reforms, the so-called Canadian New Deal, but that came too little too late to save him from a massive defeat in the next parliamentary elections.